Hi, everybody. Welcome to Yet to Be Named, the officially named Gold Pre-Show. Today, we're going to be doing something a bit different, since power rankings are boring and we're objectively wrong always. So what we're going to do is we're going to really double down on this being wrong thing. So, given that it's the middle of the season, given that there's still nobody's clinched playoffs, given that we have no idea in any way what is going to be happening, we have decided that we are going to predict the top 8 and the final 3 rounds of playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So that's quarter, semi, and finals.
Yeah.
However you want to look at it. It's the top 8, the top 4 of each division. Some of those might include people from lower down that made it through the first round, the round of 16. Maybe some gauntlet picks, who knows? And then we're going to track it all the way out to the finals. Does that make sense?
Let's get weird.
Let's get weird. Okay, so we're going to start with me and my awful hot takes here. So the way this works in general, we're going for round of 8. So it's Division 1, first seed is going to play the winner of the Side B 4th seed match. So this could also be the 5th seed from Division A, right? That sort of thing, and then so on and so on. So if you want look at it here, that's number 1 and number 2 from Division 1 on the top, and then number 1 and number 2 from Division B in the bottom, and then the winners against them, right? Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, we've only been talking about it for a minute, and so we've had to understand the ins and outs. I'm trying to keep an eye on chat to try to explain a little better. So, I have probably the most controversial thing that I have here is I have Imperial is going to be finishing second in Division 1, which is why they're here. Because I kind of like the storyline of Imperial versus Imperial in this round.
I think it's a good story. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's impossible, actually.
No, it's not. It's very much possible to have Imperial versus Imperial. Likely is a different issue, but it's possible.
Likely and possible are two very different things, my friend.
Yeah, it's just
Ratsu's like the logical answer.
Ratsu's like, God damn it, Leper! Why do you have to believe in the heart of the cards?
Ratsu, this is my first time back being at my setup. Let us dream.
No, dreams are for fools.
Dreams are for fools.
And as Lilia says, dreams will die if you hold them too tight.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
Okay.
Sorry.
So that's kind of my thing. It's unfortunately I don't have any I'm not seeing any major shakeups through the rest of the regular season. I'm seeing a lot of higher seed winning stuff, right? So I'm obviously going to be the most wrong of the three of us. My hottest take is Imperial versus Imperial in the round of 8. I had a really hard time figuring out who was going to match up against RAR. I think the Agni guy is gonna pull it out and end up in this position. They're a solid team. They have a lot of veterans. It's not likely that they're going to collapse at this point in the season, although anything is possible. So I do see the Agni guy going pretty far into division semifinals, or division, whatever, round of 8. Literal Monkeys or Squad Gaming Sigma. I'm a biased Literal Monkey simp. That we have no denying of this.
Just a Batman simp.
I mean, the Sejuani one trick has to perform one way or another.
He doesn't play just Sejuani. He gave me a mouthful for that one.
Yeah. Something that I think is curious is you're saying Literal Monkeys is a higher seed than Killer Whales with your
So okay,
thing.
so they play in week 9.
Yeah.
That is when these two teams actually play. And this is where it gets interesting, right? Is as long as Literal Monkeys beats Killer Whales, right? And they don't drop, and they can still drop one game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, KW
Because-
can go 2-0 up until that game and still lose, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's
as long
right.
as
You can
keeps
be
winning
8,
the series.
You can be 8-0 going into week 9, and they can be
16-1.
So they could be 7-1 going.
Isn't it 6? Oh,
It doesn't matter because round 1
I see,
tiebreaker
I see.
is head to head. If you both have the
Yeah.
same record, they take higher seed. So I have them beating you in week 9.
interesting.
I mean, that's fair. I
They
think
might. I have no idea. I think they're really good. And I
Yeah.
have no idea who's going to win that series. I hope it's me, but
Yeah.
I really like those guys, and I think they're talented. So
I feel like it's a really big match.
It's awesome that like a matchup that is actually super significant as far as playoff implications is going to be the final match of the split. We aren't actually in any way going to be to be able to settle the playoff structure for Division 2 or divisions in general until week 9, which I think is awesome. I'm also saying that Killer Whales is going to handily beat RAR.
I think that's more fair.
everyone from Roar, flame in the chat. Let's see it.
I think that Killer Whales is really consistent, and Raw is like more chaotic, and that Killer Whales can kind of like duck march people to a loss, whereas Raw requires them to not have as handy of a control.
I mean, it makes sense. I think the most interesting thing for me also in some ways is that I have, even though I have more teams from Division 1 at this point in playoffs, I have the 2 teams from Division 2 being in the final.
I'm not going to spoil what Ratsu and I have.
Oof.
I mean, like I said, I'm probably going to be the most wrong here.
I don't know. I will handedly admit that I don't think any of us can be like super maybe Ratsu, because Ratsu's a genius, but like I'm not going to be super confident about mine as well.
This is a variation on something that we've done on every season of Silver Scraps. We do end of regular season predictions on the 3rd episode. So after the first 2 weeks of the split, and no other information, and we almost always are absolutely completely wrong.
Yeah, the thing about that like scares me about Agni Kai is they have this stupid playoffs buff, which we saw last split.
Yep.
And I'm like hesitant. It's like, okay, is the Agni Kai playoff buff coming? Because if it's coming, then they're in finals over somebody somehow.
And that's true.
Did you say Agni Kai could possibly make finals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agni
Kai
in Leper's scenario?
They could make it in any scenario if they get big enough playoff buff. Last split, they were against like first seed, like they were expected to like win the entire tournament, literally round 1, and they beat them. Like I think it was like a 2-0.
I think there are too many strong teams that are far stronger than Agni Kai.
For that to happen. What's Ratsu saying?
But who knows?
Like, this team did that last split, right? Like they were the underdog in just about every match and made it to top 4.
We did it in Fishbowl, yeah. So
same for Goon Squad Sigma. So it's there's a lot of upsets and a lot of things that can happen here. I'm going to put you on the spot, whoever I have next on my list, which I think is Swifty. So let's see yours.
All right. It's not mine yet.
It is yours now.
Oh, I can't see it yet. There it is. I included scorelines. 1, just for fun, and 2, to see if anyone would get really annoyed.
Well, we all know that Swifty thinks his team's going to win.
Yep. I included a little note for everyone.
2-0 to playoffs.
I'm a little different, I think, than you two. I think we discussed this a little bit before the show in who I think is going to make playoffs. I believe, who did you have? Oh, maybe Ratsu that had someone else. But I had, anyway, just getting to the first round. I think Roar takes first seed in A. And I know that Ratsu's going to disagree with me here, but I think Clownfish takes fifth. I believe. Is that what that is? 5? Yes, 5. And then wins whatever their first series is coming into this. I think Roar 2-1s them, though. I think it would be a 2-0. I think Roar's a good team, a really good team. And they've been showing that. I think, like you said, though, their wins aren't disciplined when you watch them. It seems like they could have very easily lost a handful of those games that they won. And maybe they're sandbagging. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to walk into playoffs and get booty clapped by Roar, so we have no idea. But I think Roar takes it. I think it's a 2-1.
Okay, so I have to stop you here, because you have the most, I think, hottest take of all three of us, which is Goon Squad Gaming Gamma going this far.
Wait.
Yeah, you said Gamma, not Sigma, friend.
That should be Sigma. Apologies. Did I get it backwards? Division A, Goon Squad Gaming.
Yes, so you have it backwards.
Physical, Vandral. Sorry.
So
apologies.
you have it backwards. So now they get to see my scuffed format as I do.
Okay,
this.
my bad, guys. Sorry. You know what? No, I'll stick by it. And they somehow switch divisions.
And smash through the playthrough bracket and.
Okay, I'll keep talking while Leopard does this.
Yes.
So apologies. That should be Sigma. Goon Squad
Sigma.
Ligma. I'm kidding. I think they're on a hot streak, and I think they're gonna climb in spots as the weeks go on. I think they found their footing, and like they're showing that like their roster on paper, which we thought was gonna be strong from the start, it's gonna start coming together. I think my team 2-0s them. I think they are a good team, don't get me wrong. I just have a lot of faith in my team. And I know it was brought up on another podcast. You can look at a lot of teams that people have considered strong. I think it's a very hard argument to make that any team's wins look as good as Killer Whale's team wins do. There's the argument that like bottom 5, right? The teams that have played Killer Whales before. But there are teams who have won games against bottom teams and gone 2-1 or had sloppy victories. So I think it's a double-edged sword, that argument. But regardless, I think we advanced to semis. I think TD Harmony ends up taking second seed for their division, ends up playing Paradox, so I think we'll be third seed. I think Paradox is a very strong team. I think TD Harmony, I actually played against Obi-Wan Shinobi, shout out, in a flex game last night, and he looked really good. I know he's a sub, I think, on the team, but even then, I'm like, oh. I looked at the list. If this guy's a sub and he's playing really well and he's playing off-roll, they look really, I don't know, the player looked good. They've been putting up their wins. The losses from Paradox have looked, I think, worse than any sort of lost games coming out of TD Harmony. Therefore, I think it goes 2-1. TD Harmony, Literal Monkeys versus Imperial Gaming, I think is going to be an absolute banger of a matchup if it happens. I think Imperial Gaming is on an upswing, much like Goon Squad Gaming Sigma is. I think those two teams, like on paper, should be at the top of their division, right? Like, if they had started off on the right foot, I think we would be having very different discussions in podcasts past. And I think it's a super close series. I think it could go either way, but I'm leaning Literal Monkeys for the sole purpose of, I think they've just shown that they can consistently win games. From the get-go, they were on the same page. And a team that from the get-go is on the same page is just going to be a step forward, right? That late into the game in playoffs, most of the time. Which then takes us to Roar versus Literal Monkeys. These are my hot takes. Is this what you were talking about with my hot takes for semis?
Well, I was more talking about the fact that you did have good.
Oh, the fact that it was Gamma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a hot mistake. Is what that was.
The actual interesting thing here, this is an actual, I think if this is an actual hot take, which is you
I
have
the top two seeds
1 and 2
from Division
in
2,
both.
2-0.
Well, you have 1 and 2 versus 1 and 2 in general,
Mm-hmm.
and that's never happened.
Yes, but it could.
Okay.
Oh, I got that backwards. Whatever. But yeah.
Wait, did I not? Is that wrong?
Well,
No, your
I
1 and
think
2
it's
is
right.
against their 1 and 2. That's you're right.
You're
But
right.
I'm
You're
just-
correct. No, it's more.
Okay.
It's more.
I think that if this shakes out, I think Monkeys and Whales both 2-0. For the sole purpose of, I think there are strong teams at the top of each division, right? But the teams at the top of 1 have not looked as clean as the teams on the top of 2, and as consistently. I don't like, you know, people are going to want to argue with me all you want. I can't find an argument to say that the top teams in Division 1 look clean compared to the top 2 teams in Division 2. I just don't think the argument's there. Therefore, I really think that it should be 2-0s for those teams. And then I think it's Little Monkeys, Killer Whales, like Kappa said. And it could go either way again. Like I said before, week 9. But I'm hoping my team wins, and I think Power of Friendship OP, and I think we'll come through. Rage in the chat, Q.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
Those are my takes.
Uh,
Oh, it's BO5. Oh, whatever. Is it semis BO5?
They're gonna
I'll-
be okay. So clearly, we made some mistakes when we were copy pasting a lot of
Whatever.
things in this
Yeah.
sheet.
So I'll say, is it okay? Someone in the chat, is it 5 games from semis on?
What I'm saying is I don't know, right?
We don't know.
We changed
Okay,
up,
if semis is 5 games, I'm saying 3-1 both ways.
in the
Or a 3-0.
past, we've done it where only the final 2 rounds were best of 5s, right? It's
Okay, yes,
possible
for
that
semis
all
and finals.
3 of these weeks are best of 5. That
Okay.
I don't
Whatever.
have a definitive.
I'll leave it
answer.
like this
we'll
for now.
We'll leave it as it is because that's what is on the thing.
It'll be a 3-2.
I'm
either
telling
way
you
finals
that there
now.
will be best of 5 somewhere, because if
Somewhere
we
it'll
don't,
happen.
we, the admin team, will be crucified. I also know, because we just literally just copy-pasted the first box down to make this, that's how this happened, right? We didn't make the errors. We were thinking about other things, because we really went from sign-ups to
we'll
actual
find out
launch in like
when we
48
get there.
hours. So... yeah, it might change, because I know in IBS we're adding an extra week of BO5s, where there's 3 weeks of BO5s compared to some teams never playing one in playoffs in IBS. So that's why I'm saying I don't have a definitive answer. I will get it updated and let y'all know next week.
I think.
All right, on to Ratsu? Or you
I-
you want to say something about mine?
I think 2-0s all the way in semis is like risky, or like even 3-1s.
Like a risky take?
Yeah, because
I'm not
like,
here to play it safe, King.
I kind of agree with Literal Monkeys being able to 2-0 RAR. Like I say that too, but I'll say like the argument that doesn't happen is Literal Monkeys is RAR, but they close games really fast, and RAR closes games slower. Like it's like they're both kind of chaos teams. Like one team is like, we're gonna crush you really fast, and you're not gonna be able to resist, and the other team is like, we're gonna be doing everything all over the place all the time. And
What do you think wins out in that scenario? What do you think is a more consistent play style for a team to follow?
I think Literal Monkeys wins, but I think RAR can take games. I think that series could go the distance.
One of the things that I've seen that happens with teams that are really kind of more controlled and methodical is that they often fall apart because they're used to having a second to breathe, and really, really aggressive teams just kind of roll over them because there is no moment to breathe. You get what I mean? The pace of the game
Yeah.
is so off, right? And
I guess that's the reason why I said that, because to me it trumps, you know? But keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes both ways, right? It goes both
Yeah.
ways. Where if the aggressive team just isn't having their stuff connect, it just kind of rolls over because they're not. They're just. It's if all your team can do is run at them and you're losing, you're still having to run at them.
Yeah. If you can't secure your lead, you're not setting yourself up for a late game into a team that has been winning games that go late. And if you're a team that has been relying on games to go late, and you're getting stomped early, you don't have any breathing room to get there. So yeah.
Orange Juice, somehow my idea of a best of 3 of best of 3s over 3 weeks has never been approved by anybody, so I feel you on that one.
Alright, I want to see Ratsu.
Oh, we want to see Ratsu?
Mine's pretty different from Swifties.
My way.
I can go the distance.
Okay.
I can go the distance. Sorry.
Okay, so I think basically the same 2 top seeds as Swifty. I agree with those 100%. I think that Agnikai is better than Clanfish in a playoff situation. So they're going to
take 5.
Yeah. So like like I think that they play against each other and Agnikai wins.
Against CF9.
Yeah,
I think I meant
yeah,
Roar.
yeah. No. I think Roar wins that game. And then I also said Hyperion over Imperial Gaming because in my head, like when I'm running scenarios, Imperial Gaming has a hard schedule to go, and I think it's harder for them to make it through everything than it is for Hyperion to do the same thing. So like I have to like adjust everything over a little bit. I understand Hyperion like kind of hit a roster boom, but I haven't seen them play with their new roster.
I just noticed Mello put, I love you, Natsu, I love you, for putting him in playoffs, which I'll remind you, Mello, I also put you in playoffs, and he had you get 2-0'd first round, so... Keep going.
Yeah, so like everything has been adjusted for that. I think Imperial Gaming will make like playoffs as a whole. I don't think they'll get past round 1 though, because they're going to be up against a difficult team for them to beat stylistically. In my version of events. Let's see. I think Good Squad Gaming Sigma's a good team. I think that if there's any upset on my bracket, it's Good Squad Gaming Sigma beating Literal Monkeys. Actually, in semis. I mean, in quarters. Sorry, not semis. Because Good Squad Gaming Sigma is like on an upswing, and they're like improving very steadily. And if they continue to improve at this rate without like stopping or stalling on anything, then I think they could get good enough to where they can just like wall Literal Monkeys, because their style feels more defensive than other teams, and usually like defensive teams beat really hyper aggressive teams because they can bounce them, and then like everything changes. But that's just a side hot take that I had. And
so
then
you have, I'm sorry, keep going.
Oh, you can talk. It's fine.
So you explained. So I guess you're playing a bit of devil's advocate with saying the games could go the distance, like Monkeys versus Roar, but you do have it 2-0.
Yeah, I do.
So your final say is 2-0.
Yeah, I was saying devil's advocate because I think like there's a chance Roar like does something like unexpected because it's Roar. But like I think Literal Monkeys right now looks like just a significantly better team, like statistically and playstyle wise. Like they have a very clear like cohesive identity, and they know how to execute it really well, really like quickly and efficiently, and they know how to close games really efficiently. Where Raw is still struggling to end games like in a really fast way.
Raw's struggling to find the leads in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I think that TD Harmony can take a game off of literally anybody. Or 2. I've seen a TD team, and every time I've ever watched any of their teams play, like they just get a playoffs buff, kind of like Agnikai. So I think that if it was anybody but Killer Whales, I think TD Harmony wins. Is what I would say.
Yeah, I think they're a sleeper team. Like I know that like we obviously have them like high up, right?
Yeah.
Like, consistently we've had them high up, and I know that we've been putting Roar first. I just personally, I would rather play Roar than play TD Harmony. There's something about that team that just seems scary. I think they have more in the bag than
yeah.
That's not a comment about like Elo sitting. I didn't mean to phrase it like that. I mean like I think these guys know what they're doing, and I think yeah, playoff buff, like these guys could really do some damage.
Yeah. So like there's a couple like sleeper things like sitting around in mine, like I've thought about this a decent amount over the last week. And then I think Killer Whales right now looks like a better team than Literal Monkeys because they're more controlled, and usually if you can control a game, really aggressive teams struggle because they'll try to be really aggressive, but because of your control, you'll be able to detect and then like rebuff their aggression, like through vision or whatever. And really aggressive teams can deal with that. It's just harder for the aggressor to deal with it than for the defender to deal with it, I guess.
No,
Defender usually has advantage.
Makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense to me. Any other hot takes? Any other comments we want to have, or do we want to do rapid fire, crazy quick predictions again?
Yeah, I love that from last time. Let's do it.
Okay. Are we ready? Division 1? Clownfish,
Yeah.
Clownfish 9 versus Oasis Fire.
Clanfish 2-0?
2-0.
Oasis Fire 2-1.
Oof!
Whoa!
You think Clanfish is okay? I see.
There are
got
people who think Clownfish is insane and people who think they're completely bad, and it's probably like somewhere in the middle.
I'm just grilling fish for dinner, so I wanted to go for the theme tomorrow. So
Are they washed or are they fire?
Yeah.
Well, it's mackerel, so we lose all metaphor at this point.
Yeah.
Aww.
RAR versus Goon Squad Gaming Sigma.
RAR 2-1?
2-1 Sigma.
Okay, being
Takes.
that I
This is
being
rapid
that
fire. I'm
I
not
am,
thinking about
that
it.
I am a Goon Squad player, I have to go Goon Squad 2-0. Goon Squad 2-0. Okay, we got on stream Pod of Dolphins versus Monkeys Rising.
Monkeys Rising 2-0.
I have to agree, Monkeys Rising 2-0.
2-1 Pod of Dolphins.
Says the Dolphins player, of course. Okay.
I would disagree, but okay.
Corvus Storm versus TD Harmony.
TD Harmony 2-0.
Corvus Storm 2. I'm kidding. TD Harmony 2-0. I can't joke.
You can't disagree.
I can't because there's the one guy who's gonna get mad because I said it again.
Imperial Gaming versus Agnikai.
2-0 Imperial Gaming.
Agnikai 2-1.
This is hard for me because this is definitely could go.
This is one I'm gonna clip for later, Rod. So.
Imperial Gaming. Imperial Gaming 2-0.
You're saying 2-0 IG? Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying 2-0 IG.
If Imperial 2-1s, who wins?
We both lose.
So, our other stream game of the night, Killer Whales versus Imperial Paradox.
Killer Whales 2-0.
I mean, given all the stuff that we've said about Killer Whales, it's got to be Killer Whales 2-0.
I abstain from this one.
Just for the sake of being contrarian.
This is a streamed game. It's a streamed game.
Swifty says Imperial Paradox 2-0.
2-0.
Got it.
Yep, there we go.
Okay. BDE Sapphire versus the Comfy Cartel.
Meme.
BDE Sapphire 2-1.
Comfy
Cartel 2-1.
2-0.
Oh, Brosidon, king of the Broshin.
For fun wins the game.
I think we get feathers today, not feathers.
Not feathers.
No,
Man, they can't deal with feathers. They can deal with feathers.
Hyperion Gaming versus Ugly Gang.
Hyperion 2-0.
Hyperion
2-1. I believe in you, Borbor.
Okay, I'll be honest. I'm gonna have to go with Hyperion 2-1 here because Ugly Gang has submitted 3 e-subs for tonight, and they can only use 2 per
that's
match.
A positive?
They can. Well, that's why Hyperion's gonna win because Ugly Gang has submitted 3 e-subs. They can only use 2 per match, per game. Nameless Predators versus Literal Monkeys.
Literal Monkeys 2-0.
2-0, Little Monkeys. Sorry, Ratsu.
I think it might be a 2-1, actually.
And Goon Squad Gaming Gamma versus New Wave Esports has been rescheduled to an undetermined later date.
So I will reschedule my prediction. I'm kidding. I'm going to say 2-1. New Wave.
GSG 2-1.
GSG 2-1.
New wave mental boom. You said it yourself, Swifty.
When did I say that? Did I say it on stream, or did I say it off stream? And now you're outing me for saying it off stream.
I think everybody's saying it. I think everybody said it in Discord chat at least 3 times, in ZGG normal chat.
Yeah.
Well
then.
It's 7:30.
It's 7:30. I thought
that was a quick one.
That was a quick one.
A spicy one.
Well, this gives you plenty of time to watch the VOD again before we play, right? It means Ratsu gets to go back to sleep very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Actually, I have a match that's being streamed in like 2 hours after play.
Oh, fun. So, with that, everybody's gonna have some time to kill, but keep in mind you do need 125 ranked solo duo queue games to play tonight, not 150. You'd be amazed at how many people have come to us and gone, "Do I need 150 matches, 150 games played tonight?" No, you need 125.
Oh, I forgot to do my bit. I'll do it next time.
So top 5 of each position. Okay. So top 1 top laner, top 2 top laner, top 3 top laner, top 4 top laner, and top 5 top laner are all Shanghai.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Shanghai for all the top laners.
Jungle is gonna be
Let me just pull Swift's stat sheet real
Billy
quick.
Willard.
Billy Willard.
Billy Willard is also the top 5.
Is the top 5.
We are in
Jungle.
ABJ.
Yep, we are in. We have had
1 ABJ or 0.
We have had at least one other game where Billy Willard has jungled after Billy Willard jungled.
Best mid in the league.
Best mid in the league is
Rodney for the content.
Rodney for the content. The Mind Lane. All hail
the Mind Lane. He is buying real estate in all of your brains, and he's playing you. Congratulations. You played yourself. Welcome to the Mind Lane, baby. Respect.
AD carry. In no particular order. How I Met Your Table. Bam. Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm actually thinking.
Oh, wait, you're actually thinking?
I'm actually thinking.
I have no idea. I haven't seen enough from.
I know you haven't.
Oh, hi, Shrouds. I saw you said hi in chat. Thank you. Got to tattoo Shrouds in a way.
Huh. Double, huh?
So in all actual seriousness, right? If we want that, it's for me. My top 5 is How I Met Your Table, Bam, K, Namid, and having another one is proven difficult. Is Trucks still playing? Mm-hmm. Trucks. We'll say Trucks. That was harder than I thought.
I'm not like in the place to actually be able to do a top 5, but I do think Wonderworld is in consideration for that.
Yeah, no,
top
absolutely.
5. I think Velos after last week. I don't know if you guys saw those.
We can't give Velos credit. Velos has not gotten credit for anything in 3 years. We can't let it get to his head.
You're right.
That's when he'll grow spikes and really belong in a Mario game.
Like the little hobbit he is. He's my hobbit, though.
He and I are the same height, so.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
In my head you were like 6'4".
No.
You look like Hagrid.
No, I am 5'6" if I'm wearing my steel toes.
Yay!
Support.
Rambo. Also Hide and Shrouds. Rambo and Hide and Shrouds, 2 best supports in the league.
I didn't have memes prepared for that one. So.
Sleeper pick for good support. Clanfish 9 support's pretty good.
Kiba's
good.
Fun story, Kiba and I were on the same tryout team to get in Dolphins.
Fun fact,
she's great.
I've seen Kiba in 2 different tryouts actually that I've been like helping run. So I know Kiba's a good support.
Yeah, she's got great macro, great calls. Refuses to tilt. You know.
Yeah, I'm a top laner. That my ability to not tilt.
Isn't Pitiful playing top?
Pitiful is playing top.
Yeah.
I know your mental's rock solid, Leopard, because you played cannon into Ryu's Volibear twice.
Yeah, with 500 picks, so...
And he was just tower diving you, running you around the map.
Wait, should we go back and do, like, non-meme ones?
Eventually. Not today.
Okay. Not today,
I do want to actually do this when we have time to think, not on the spot. This isn't something that's really easy to do on the spot. Especially not with 20 teams. It is something that I want to do, but it's probably going to be later in the season. I'm working on a method, too. I'm going to test it out in IBS before we do it in Gold, but I'm working on a method to try to get some better community input into this conversation as well.
You mean Swifty's spreadsheet isn't good enough?
Well, the spreadsheet is
also RIP
dead.
spreadsheet.
It's dead.
I've been so busy knocking the rust off that I haven't posted an update about it.
Yeah.
Thanks Riot for completely blowing up the
unfortunately.
thing that I was trying to work on.
Yeah.
Welp, can't win them all.
Nope. We
But,
cannot.
am I allowed to give a teaser here about like?
Yeah.
It probably won't be this split or whatever, but I'm looking at ways to write some Python stuff and work with APIs to do it efficiently and correctly. After Riot sort of fixes stuff. So who knows? Maybe there will be a way that after you play your game, stats will get automatically uploaded.
Tournament codes make that easier too.
Yes, they do.
So yeah. That has been our episode of Yet to Be Named that went shorter than we expected. So
only 40-ish minutes.
Only 40-ish minutes, which is actually shorter than last week's episode. So
we're just getting faster, guys.
We're just getting faster. I mean, y'all are getting more predictable, obviously. So hopefully we get some spicy results and have an interesting week. With all of that, have fun in your games in about 25 minutes.